James K, Nate Burleson, Peter Schrager, and Kyle Brandt are here to party. That's right, because we are 2 sleeps away from Wild Card Weekend, and it is time for the Seahawks Cowboys going head-to-head in Arlington on Saturday night. Here's our very own Omar Ruiz with a story on a Seattle squad that has defied expectations, I think, for everyone this season.
We've heard from the Seahawks the past couple weeks admit that they heard all the preseason doubters' predictions for a 4 or 5 win team, a team in rebuilding mode. Well, they've silenced that talk now and have moved on to the playoffs and preparing for the Dallas Cowboys. Russell Wilson and the rest of the leaders on this team has them believing in themselves and believing big.
I think more than anything else is you just got to play with a clear head and go out there, and hopefully we can do that in the playoffs and do some special things. You know, you always want to have a chance. You know, whenever you get to December, you want to have a chance to make it. You know, I think that's kind of always been my thought is, give ourselves a great chance to go where we want to go. And that's to win the whole thing.
Wilson telling me they're very aware of the stakes of this game, but their approach, just like in the regular season, every game is a championship opportunity, and that's something they verbalized to some of their younger players who don't have playoff experience. Wilson saying that's something they've addressed this week, and really a mentality they've been instilling since April.
Thanks, Omar. Should be a great matchup between Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott. Both had tremendous regular seasons, and now with the latest on Dak and the Cowboys, let's send it over to our very own Jane Slater.
Thanks, Kay. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott says he hopes to see the field as well as he did last weekend in this game against the Seattle Seahawks on Saturday. Now, not only did this game do a lot for Dak Prescott and his confidence, but I think it solidified the respect of his teammates. It was wide receiver Cole Beasley who told me Prescott is a warrior. He handles the ups and downs of the game and never changes. He's always even keel. He's a guy that's easy to follow because of that. Amari Cooper continued that thought with him just 9 games this season. He says he's already different than quarterbacks who've thrown to him in the past. As soon as they are out in the football field, he gives everyone a high five on offense. That's unique, he says. So is this.
Even if we're down, 14, whatever the score is, he's always saying, it's going to happen. We're going to make it happen. We're going to come back. And, just that belief from our leader, it makes everybody else, it permeates to everybody else.
And in clutch situations, Prescott really seems to shine. His passer rating is 150.5 in situations where they're tied in the fourth or in overtime.
He's great in the fourth quarter. Thanks for pointing that out, Jane. That's so true, and I feel like it's something that's a little bit overlooked by people who do not watch every game. So how would a win for Dak, who I think he has something to prove, right?
Yeah.
He beats Russell Wilson and that Seahawks defense that has impressed everybody pretty much every week coming to play, very feisty. How does that change the perception on Dak, if it does?
The narrative on Dak Prescott nationally is very good quarterback. He's not one of the elite guys. He's not one of the great guys. The numbers tell a different story. I know it's tough to imagine if you're someone who's a Dak doubter, but in primetime games, Dak Prescott's 12-4. They've won 7 of their last 8 games, and when it comes to fourth quarter comebacks, it's Dak Prescott who does this as much as anybody else in the NFL. So yes, I do think the national audience needs to see Dak do it in the playoffs, and beating Russell Wilson is a great way to do it. It just kind of firms his place in Cowboys lore, because Tony Romo only won 2 playoff games. Dak would already been 2 division titles in his career and a playoff game, and then would be going on and marching on to the next round, most likely playing the Saints in New Orleans, a team, oh, by the way, that Dak already beat this season.
Talk about it.
Say this about Dak Prescott. There are a lot of quarterbacks in this league. Kirk Cousins, Matt Stafford, Jameis Winston. Guys that get a lot of respect nationally for their arm and for their ability. And Dak Prescott's already done more than those guys have done in their careers. Dak Prescott has already said, in just 3 years, I've done this. Go and beat Russell Wilson. I remember Cam Newton a couple years ago in a playoff game. They had a divisional round, right? It was Cam Newton versus the Seahawks. Cam Newton beat the Seahawks. Seahawks came all the way back, but Cam Newton beat, and I think it was, can Cam Newton win the big game? Yeah, Cam Newton win the big game. Cam Newton just beat Russell Wilson and the Legion of Boom. To me, I think the Cowboys do have the edge in this game. They're home. They don't lose at home. They've got a better defense. The Cowboys should win this game. Dak Prescott, go just do the job.
I'm glad you said all that, because I can't figure out what kind of friends I am with Dak Prescott. There's certain friends you have that, like,
you could just be sitting watching TV and you're cool. You could go on a road trip with them. Everything's great. They're great friends. And there's other friends you need everything to be right. You're at a bowling alley, there's beer, there's music. You can hang out with anybody. That kind of friend. That's how I look at Dak. Like the rap on Dak is you give him this great defense with a great pass rush and the best running game in all of football. Yeah. Dak can win games. And there's a lot of guys. I think there's a fraternity of guys like that. It's like people say that about Eli. Flacco. People say that about Blake Bortles. You can win with Blake Bortles if the accoutrements are a smorgasbord, a horn of plenty. I want to see differently because you know who they used to say that about? Running game, defense, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was a passenger on the LOB and Marshawn this and Marshawn that. And then come to find out, Russell Wilson is like the deadliest, scariest guy in football. We all at this table love Russell Wilson, maybe like nobody else. So I would love to see Dak Prescott do that because I still think he is not one of those, just let Dak win the game. Those fourth quarter comeback numbers are compelling. First quarter to fourth quarter. I will say this, though, too. He has no playoff wins. In the loss to Aaron Rodgers, I gained huge respect for him. So to answer the question, even if the Cowboys lose this game, if Dak shows up and is like, I got this, my pulse does not bounce, I will gain respect for him. I want to see how he shows up because he's America's team and America's stadium, America's quarterback. Even in losing, I gain respect. No matter what he does, win or loss this weekend, if he plays well, Dak may be the guy you can go on the road trip with.
This wouldn't change my perception of Dak Prescott. This would just validate what I already think about him. You know, when he came in his rookie season, I love him. You know, the fact that he came in, the young pup, replacing fourth round pick, replacing Tony Romo, which is big shoes to fill because Tony's a legend. And then he went out there and stole our hearts and was the best offensive rookie and went out there and held down an organization that is as storied as any in all of sports. And then you talk about the fourth quarter comebacks. You guys touched on it. Nobody has more than Dak Prescott. Not that it's good. Nobody has more since he's been in the league. 14 of those, to be exact.
That's wild.
It is wild when you really think about those numbers. Now, they did all this with no Romo, and then they said that Dez Bryant was falling off, and then Jason Witten retires, and then they needed number one. Right now, they're still in the playoffs. After everything that was going on, Jason Garrett on the hot seat, Scott Lennon on the hot seat, Dak Prescott is our guy. Jerry Jones came out and said, nah, he's not only our guy, I'm going to extend him. And speaking of extensions, he can extend the pocket with the best of them. The fact that he can sit back, we know he has an arm. He has a rocket. We just go back to that throw to Kobe.
That throw to Beasley was nuts.
Beasley was amazing. Right. But he can get outside the pocket just like he did in that throw. He can extend the pocket, and he can help his wide receivers. He can help this young group of tight ends that are trying to find themselves now in the league. So for me, it's not just the fourth quarter comebacks. It's not just what we think about the Cowboys. It's because when it comes down to pure X's and O's, Dak is just scratching the surface. If you like what he's doing now, fourth quarter comeback, throws outside the pocket, him extending the legs, that big, strong base with the glutes, hammies, and taking hits while throwing the ball downfield. Imagine what he's going to look like in 3 years. So, yes, I agree with you, Kyle. I want to see him play a great game. I don't want to see him fall on his face because then all the doubters will say, you know what, I was right. Dak isn't the guy. Whether he lose or win, as long as he plays great, which I expect him to play, I'm just going to already know, I'm going to already be validated on what I think about.
If they win and they run the ball and the defense carries them, do you guys change your perception, or does the nation change their perception of him? I think it's how they win. If he wins 100%. Like that, I don't think it changes anything. If he does what he's done 14 times on this stage, because the stage is what matters now.
Yes. What do you mean, if the D carries them and they run the ball?
I just think that people but is it going to change how anybody thinks of Dak Prescott if the defense and the running back?
I think you beat Russell Wilson.
I think a playoff win is a big deal.
Yeah.
I really do. Whether you win 6-3 or you
tend to come out this way. I do. We're talking about the style. If they win 13-10 and Zeke is 180 yards, the question. I'm not saying Dak's terrible. I just my impression won't change.
Yeah.
So because all those comebacks, right. those are all regular season.
Okay, but what about the primetime numbers? 12-4.
Primetime ain't the playoffs, Peter.
Thanksgiving, he showed up.
What about the playoffs? What about Russell Wilson's first Super Bowl run?
You know what I mean?
We all gained respect for Russell Wilson in the first Super Bowl run. And he had Marshawn Lynch and the Legion of Boom.
Russell's a legend.
So why wouldn't it be the same case for a young Dak Prescott?
Let me ask you.
There's some narrative about when the game is on Dak's shoulders, can he perform? And he has.
You just said
14 times.
comebacks.
People don't think that way. You know that better than anybody. Your mentions.
I'll tell you why. Because they go to Indianapolis and they lose 23-0, and Dak has the doe eyes, and everyone says, "Well, what's going on?" It happens to all the great quarterbacks, though.
Happened to Luck before they.
It happened to Andrew Luck. They were 1-5. Like Dak is under a bigger microscope because he's the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. It is the shortstop for the Yankees, and it is the quarterback for the Cowboys. That is it. You know, that is the biggest job in sports.
And he's entering a different weight class. Let's look over that next month. Look at he's going, Breeze, Foles, Brady's out there. We all like Dak. It's not a matter of not liking Dak.
Yeah.
Is he a killer?
A playoff killer who will step on your face to win a game. I don't know yet. We haven't seen that.
They're down 4 in the playoffs. 2 minutes to go. He has to score. He has to put on his shoulders and lead a game-winning drive. Can he do it on this stage? It's about the stage, and it's about how he performs, how he wins, not just winning, in my opinion.
2 years ago.
As far as changing impression of what
2 years ago, he was a puppy facing Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, staring across the field at a stone-cold killer. And Dak Prescott went blow for blow with what we call the best quarterback in football in Aaron Rodgers. So I've seen him do it 2 years ago when he still had, wet behind the ears. Now he's been through it. I feel like Dak Prescott is even better than he was his rookie season.
Cowboys should win this game. They're favored. They're division champions. There's no reason they shouldn't win this game. Go get it done.
This is gonna be a wild.
It's gonna be crazy.
Classic in the making. The Ravens also playing this weekend. They are taking a rookie quarterback into the playoffs, the youngest quarterback in the thing. So how